Well, hello there, and welcome to your July 2025 numerology on a very hot day here in Georgia at Metaphysical Roundtable. I'm Jennifer, and I'm not kidding. It's very hot outside. I know it's the humidity and not the heat, whatever, but it's hot. Yeah. So, I guess June, this last little bit of June is just preparing us for July because it's usually like pretty hot in July, but I digress. All right. So first of all, thank you to everyone who was kind enough to reach out or kind enough to message me and say, I really enjoyed the mid-month numerology. I will continue it this month. We're going to see how long that goes, really. So loving the mid-month numerology, doing a little reading there. I really do appreciate it, and I also appreciate all the feedback that you're giving me about things that I can do to improve my channel. So thank you. Now, I will get into the astrology for July. And remember, again, this is just a snapshot. This is not a really in-depth astrological talk or video. This is just to give you an idea of what is going to happen in July so that you can sort of see like how it's going to affect your life path number. Yeah. All right. So when we enter July, we are carrying over some energy from June. And the biggest energy that we are carrying over is this Venus-Uranus conjunction that we have beginning on on June 30th. So what happens is when planets are within 3 degrees of each other, we call it a conjunction. Now, a direct conjunction is when they're right in alignment with each other. But when they're in 3 degrees of each other, we still call it a conjunction because they're interacting and they're at play. So starting on June 30th, we have Venus and Uranus in a conjunction. Okay? That energy is going to continue until July 7th. Just letting you know. On the 4th of July, Venus moves into Gemini at 11:31 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Also on July 4th, we have Neptune going retrograde at 5:34 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and Neptune will be retrograde until December 10th. Venus, oh my gosh, still thinking about Venus and Uranus conjunction. Venus will... I said it again. Oh my gosh. I'm not redoing this video. I'm not. Neptune will retrograde back into Pisces on October 22nd. So later this year, you will see Neptune leaving Aries and going back into Pisces. On July 7th, we have Uranus moving into Gemini and joining Venus. It's a very interesting conjunction. I just want to let you know there's a ton of astrologers that have covered this all over YouTube. I'm not going to go into it in depth here. Maybe I'll make another side video, a short, or put it on TikTok. But anyway, I digress. On the 10th of July, we have a full moon in Capricorn that hits its peak at 4:37 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. On the 13th of July, we have Saturn, which is also in Aries currently, going retrograde at 12:07 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And Saturn will be retrograde until November 27th, 2025. Saturn does also retrograde back into Pisces, but in September. So on September 1st, Saturn retrogrades back into Pisces. On the 18th, and I know you guys have been feeling this energy because I have, Mercury goes retrograde until August 11th in Leo. Mercury going retrograde, we usually feel it like a couple of weeks before the shadow, before retrograde, and then there's a shadow period after. It's really, the shadow period before Mercury retrograde is the worst for me personally. I don't know about you, but I'm interested to know what you think about that. But Mercury does go retrograde on the 18th. On the 22nd, we have the sun moving into Leo, and the sun is so happy because the sun rules Leo. Love that. On the 24th, we have a new moon in Leo that hits its peak at 3:11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And on the 30th, Venus, who's been a busy girl this month, Venus moves into Cancer at 11:57 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, Venus started off in Taurus, went into Gemini, went all the way through Gemini, and is now in Cancer at the end of July. Very exciting. So we end the month with 3 planets in fire plus the sun. So we've got Saturn, Neptune in Aries, and Mercury in Leo, as well as the sun. And we have 2 planets in water. We have Jupiter and Venus in Cancer, and the North Node is also in water. It's in Pisces. We have 2 planets in air. Uranus is in Gemini, and Pluto, which is also retrograde, is in Aquarius. And we have 1 planet in Earth, which is Mars in Virgo, and it is also there with South Node. So not a lot of grounding energy this month. It is a lot of fire energy. Very important to remember that. And we have now, at the end of the month, we have 4 planets retrograde, and 3 of those planets are going retrograde in July. Yeah. So, I want to get into the crystal because this could help us with all these retrogrades. And retrogrades don't have to be bad energy. It's more about redoing, rethinking, reworking. You know, it's the stuff. Yeah, that's what we have in all this retrograde energy. So let's get into the crystal of the month. Oh my gosh, so excited about this. Just gonna move my notes so that I can do this right. And I'm trying to not hit cats. Does that happen to any of you? Yeah, okay. All right, so the crystal of the month is Moonstone. Now, speaking of cats, Mouse has definitely messed with my stuff today. So the crystal of the month is this gorgeous, gorgeous Moonstone. And you know, I collect hearts. My friend that collects crystal hearts got me started on this, and I bought her one for July. She didn't know that yet. But this, look at the Moonstone. Look at the variations in these Moonstones. They're so pretty. They really are. So brown, sort of white, yellow. Some are sort of opaque. These are sort of white. Some of them are opaque. Definitely has a little bit of that striped energy in it. Right? Look at those pretty girls. Oh my gosh. And really brown. See all the browns and the yellows there? It's just, they're so lovely. And really, yeah, a lot of white. So, I mean, because it is called Moonstone. This cute as a button guy at Heart, Soul, and Art here in Marietta, Austin, was the one that suggested Moonstone for July because he is a Cancer. And he actually introduced me to a rainbow Moonstone. I'm saving that for another time, but I did love it. I loved it. So just letting you know. This is the card that I pulled from the Healing Oracle Crystal Reading Cards by Rachelle Charman. I don't really see a lot of purple in Moonstone. However, she may have put that purple energy or essence around the card because of the chakras. So, Moonstone, and I got all this information from the Encyclopedia of Crystals by Judy Hall and the Healing Oracle Crystal Reading Cards by Rachelle Charman. They will be listed in the description box below. I also looked online just to confirm or just to look up and verify some of the things that I had heard about Moonstone. So just a lot of different websites out there. But Moonstone really takes care of our chakras, really helps with emotional balance, and it definitely helps with that energetic balance that we have with our chakras, because Moonstone helps the crown chakra, the third eye chakra, the heart chakra, the solar plexus, and the sacral. I mean, all of them except for the throat and the root chakra. So this covers a lot of territory, all right? The Moonstone definitely helps us connect with the divine feminine. It helps us in manifesting and law of attraction. So if you're trying to manifest something, put a little Moonstone like next to whatever it is that you're writing down or working on. Carry it around in your pocket, sleep next to it, because it definitely also helps with our dreams as well. But it's great for growth. It's great for new beginnings. It's great for fertility, new projects, new ideas coming in, new creations. It is definitely a very creative stone. It enhances our intuition, and it's used for a lot of psychic protection. So that's supercalifragilistic, right? It's definitely bringing in a lot of harmony and balance, but it also is fantastic for the 9 year that we're in. I may have mentioned that like 800 times already, but the 9 year that we're in is about releasing old patterns, right? Well, the Moonstone helps us to draw out those old emotional patterns so that we can release them. So it's not only fantastic for Cancers, it is also fantastic for the 9 year. I love that. Did I cover everything? I think I did. Yes. So yeah, hormonal imbalance, emotional balance, it's good stuff. It is really good stuff. So that being said, I know, go find you some Moonstone this month. The cards that I'll be pulling from today for the advice cards is the Goddess Guidance Oracle deck and Moonology from Yasmin Bolin. I know, the same cards I pull every month, right? But I'm really excited about July, hoping that it's not as hot as it currently is. I'm sure it's just going to get hotter, but just have to crank up the air conditioning, right? In the meantime, let's see what's going on with your individual life path number this month. Well, hello Life Path 2, and welcome to your July's numerology. And let me tell you, July for you is a 9 month. So you are doubling down on this 9 energy this month. We love that, don't we? I know, I may have mentioned that this is a 9 year, like, I don't know, 800 or 900 times, but it's a 9 year in numerology, and you've got a 9 month in numerology. So 9 is all about transition, completion, releasing. It's a rebirth. It's that vibration of rebirth. It's time to remove clutter, both physical and spiritual. What is it that you're holding on to? What kind of emotional crap are you holding on to? And we all do it. We all do it. I just did a live video like with metaphysical practices all about releasing blocks. Yeah, this is some things coming up, right? But this is the time to be logical with your choices. It's time to be logical with your decisions instead of doing it emotionally, which is really challenging for that Life Path 2 vibration. And I'm telling you this because I am married to an 11-2. Yeah. So this is all about completion of a cycle. It's about like having a phase change so that you can complete your life's purpose. Now the thing is, you have to look at it like you're getting a promotion, because if you get a promotion, you're not doing the same job that you were, right? You're moving into something bigger. You're moving into a new phase. And that's kind of how you need to look at this. Yeah, because what we're doing is we're accepting endings so that we can bring about a new beginning. I'm going to see how many videos he pops in today. So far, 2 for 2. Yeah, that was Mouse, by the way. All right, so The shadow sides, or wait a minute, I'm getting ahead of myself. The mantra of the 9 is I embody the flow of this moment with courage to change. And courage is really important during a 9 vibration, year or month. And again, you got a little double of that. The lesson of the 9 is to recognize patterns and let them go when they're no longer serving our well-being. So take a look at what's going on in your life. What's working and what isn't. Are you beating a dead horse? What's happening here? Because the shadow sides of the 9 is fear of change and fighting change. And when we start like really getting into that, we get impulsive, we get moody, and honestly, we start like getting careless with our money because we start thinking, well, I'm unhappy here. I'm not looking forward to this. This scares me, or I don't want to change. And then maybe we spend a little too much in our Amazon cart. That save for later list that we all have. Yeah. Hold back. Recognize that you're fighting these changes that are coming up. Don't try to sweep it under the rug, but you don't have to do it all right now. Just stop and go, okay, I understand this is what's going on with me. Now I'm gonna work on it little by little. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. I want to remind you of your mantra, Life Path 2. With an open heart, I joyously receive and offer infinite love. And that's what you're all about. You're all about balance and harmony and love. And partnerships of all kinds. Romantic, business, family, friends, what have you. Community, yep. Coffee clutches, book clubs. That's you, baby. So you have a very open heart and you're ready to make soul connections all the time. This is where we see that law of attraction energy really coming to life, is in this 2 vibration in your life path. With the lesson of the 2 is how do we cooperate, love, connect, and open our hearts without losing ourselves. And that is a huge part of the shadow side of the 2, is sacrificing a part of the self when you become a part of a unit, a couple, a group, whatever. Is sacrificing yourself. That's unnecessary. Compromise is there. Compromise is always a great word to have. But sacrificing yourself and sacrificing who you are is never a good look. It's not. Because it causes us to be indecisive, overly sensitive, timid, tactless, and we start placing others above ourselves. Again, that leads us to be a martyr or to have that victim mentality. And that's also not a good look. No. So in this 9 month, start examining like what's working for you and what isn't, because you're really going to feel the energy of that 9 year this month. Yeah. Looking forward to July, huh? I know, especially with Venus and Uranus taking this little conjunction. Are you kidding me? And I'm double ruled by Mercury, so we also have Mercury retrograde happening. Well, that's super fun. Whew, I forgot to switch the camera. Hold please. Okay. So, first card is Damara, guiding children. You are good at helping, counseling, and healing children. Use your skills to help children now. And I want to point out, as this has been pointed out to me, this could also be your inner child. Food for thought. All right, let's see what Moonology has for you. Ooh, new moon in Leo. Confidence is your key to success. And we have a new moon in Leo this month. Well, in July. I'm very excited about that. Confidence is your key to success. Okay. Try to get my glasses on. Okay. There we go. Sorry, the headband gets in the way of the glasses. Okay, this card heralds the start of a new cycle for you. I like that. When you're going to look and feel more gorgeous, more in the spotlight, more like you have something worth showing off. If you want someone's attention, this card says it's coming. However, this may not happen all by itself. You have to be willing to do your bit. That means being proud of who you are and what you have to offer. Think of yourself as the king or queen of the jungle and carry yourself accordingly. This card is also a great omen if you're asking about a creative project you're working on. I like that. Alternately, it can be a herald of good news or a new start for your children. Wow. Again with the children. Attuned to the moon. Make time to have fun. You know, I think that's a good idea. I think that's a great idea for July. Let's all make time to have fun. Thank you so much for joining me today, Life Path 2. I hope you have a wonderful July. You will see me again for the mid-month numerology check-in, little reading there, because so many of you were kind enough to share with me that you liked it. So we'll do it again. See how long it lasts. Thank you again. I can't wait to see you later this month. And until we do meet again, get out there and make your magic. Bye.